Thank you everyone for joining another episode of 15 Minutes with a Wellbeing series where we speak to our favorite leaders in animal welfare and conservation. So today we are speaking with Pei Su, who is the founder of ACTAsia, which is a nonprofit that creates programming, educational programming to encourage compassion towards animals. So thank you, Pei, for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda, and thank you for WellBeings Charity to give us this opportunity. It's a pleasure and really honored to be able to join your IG channel. And I'm the co-founder and chief executive officer of ACTAsia. I started my non-profit career since 28 years ago. At the time, I was just very very concerning about lots of social issues, from young offenders to, advocates for domestic violence, even to prison reform. So, and then I moved to environmental issue. Then more I really look about the social issue that were more I found in Asia, particularly the human treatment towards non-human animals are, almost non-existent. So I feel very strongly, we humans have responsibility to treat all other living beings equally and with respect or care. So the more, then I'm shifting more my focus into, the animal welfare, animal protection in Asia countries. So ACTAsia was established in 2006. So very exciting. Next year, 2021, will be our 15 years of the celebrations. However, while we are, working on lots of animal issues, I also found we constantly firefighting. So from bear farming, tiger bomb, right and home issue to the dog meat, we are just like sticking the patches, Band-Aid approach. And the more I do, more I feel the root cause hasn't been tackled. The kids grow up to be told by, teachers or grown-ups they actually either scared of animal or don't understand animals are sentient beings. So, although kids are very empathetic, but they grow up in the environment, it's not nurture this, empathetic nature. So I feel it was really important we, using, education as our, methodology and to tackle the children in primary school, to tackle the consumers, their daily life to be compassionate consumers, and also professionals who are the key stakeholder when it comes to a lot of decision making. So I think that's how ACTAsia, work on education and training specifically in, last 8 years particularly. Yeah.
So you say that ACTAsia creates education programs that encourage compassion and kindness towards animals. But I imagine that the issues are different in every country. Do you specifically just work in Asia, or do you work in all countries? And do you tailor your messaging to every country if you work in every country?
I think, with regarding that we have limited resources, we have a core team, we would love our message to go worldwide. And actually, we have been receiving lots of positive message outside of Asia, particularly outside of China. But I think at the moment, we are focused in Asia particularly. But the message, to be compassionate, to be empathetic, and be compassionate consumers is a global universal message, particularly under the COVID issue. So I don't think now they are, these kind of global village, although it's the term we probably don't use as much as before. However, I do feel we all have a responsibility, but it just with ACTAsia's focus, we were more focused, in China and Asian countries, but we have worked because China is so big. So we have extensively working in China for last 14 years as well. So the more we do, more experience we have, particularly in the country. Of course, we have we have our Caring for Life children education curriculum. Now it's been adopted and used in Pakistan. We actually have organization in Greece. They are they are translated our curriculum for children into Greek. So you can see, although we set up for Asia, but actually the so many needs are quite similar. The main thing is tackle the root cause. We move away from the Band-Aid approach.
And, and I think that that's true, that animal welfare is a global issue. And
yes.
it's also a human rights issue, and it's an environmental issue. It's all connected.
Yes.
And I think that it was so relevant that you mentioned COVID, because for many people, that was one of the first times that they really understood how animal abuse can directly affect their lives. So something that's going on maybe seemingly very far away globally can impact their life very directly and very dramatically. I was wondering if maybe, because I think that there are also still people that don't totally still get that connection, but maybe you could elaborate a little bit on how COVID is in part an animal welfare issue. It started as an animal welfare issue.
I mean, within ACTAsia, our mission is promote compassion for animal and kindness towards people and respect for the environment in China and throughout Asia. So we already, we bring in interconnected, between human, animals, and nature, and we want to create long-lasting, social and behavior change. I think COVID is a case to, a live, livid, example to tell us we can no longer behave what we're behaving. We can no longer take for granted for what nature has given us. We can never take for granted about exploit animal, the use of animal just from purely as a resources point of view, and I think this is what we have been doing in China since the day one of the COVID, during the lockdown in Wuhan, during the whole lockdown, in the Chinese New Year's, and when the Europe started to lock down and America, we haven't had a day off. We continue to work hard. We grab the opportunity, grab the microphone, say, hey, let's look at this. COVID is not just about mask. COVID is not just about vaccine. COVID is the way of our life need to be changed. We consume far too much. Look at the fashion. Amanda, you have a lot of experience in the fashion industry. Fashion is the third most polluted, industry in the world. And we got to really using COVID to re-examine our daily life. COVID is making us to change. It's more important now to eat plant-based meal because the factory farming is one of the potential hazards for COVID issue. We got to, started to look at more renewable energy because the climate change will impact the animal side. So one of the things people have been talking about is the virus is always, in wildlife. But it's not the wildlife, why animals they fall to jump, the virus jump from animals to us. It's our fault in our world now. The boundary between animals and the boundary between us has been disappears because we take away their home, we destroy their habitat, we burn down the forest to grow soil, who eats soil because is giving the feed for farm animals. Only small percentage is by the vegan people to consume soil. So I think people very easy not to look at the bigger picture. It's very easy. We now rush to say, don't wear mask 1,000. I say to people, you can wear mask, you can wash your hand 100 times a day. You could, try to wait for vaccine, not go out. The point is we need to work with nature. We should not against the nature. I think that's what, we've been working really hard, particularly in China, for the audience in that part of the world where the animal welfare, the animal understanding of the animal sentience still so limited. And we grab the opportunity to continue to working on the ground to date.
Yeah, and I think that you're right in that it's our behaviors, our habits of consumption, how we eat, how we shop. Like people don't fully realize that those behaviors have global repercussions. And I know that because our campaign this year is in the Amazons, and we keep promoting that messaging of eat less red meat, try to eat more plant-based. And we try and explain that connection of, well, what happens is the Amazons are cut down largely because of the cattle industry. That's where they have the cattle farms, and that leads to deforestation. And if we relate it to COVID, so then wild animals are suddenly losing their habitats and coming into contact with people that they normally wouldn't come into contact with. And that's when these zoonotic illnesses can take hold. And so it's when you really think about how, eating a hamburger can go to the Amazon, can go to the cow, can go to the tree, can go to another animal, it's all connected. And I imagine that that's sort of the crux of the education programs you create. But I'm wondering, so what other actions like eating less meat do you encourage in your programming?
I think in our compassion lifestyle, we tell the consumers in your daily life, you can make changes. Sometimes I think we are powerless. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm too busy. I've got lots of job to do. I've got lots of tasks. But actually, when we were talking to audience in Asia or in China, we say to people, everyone can make that little change and little contribution. That is required behavior change. But what makes people want to have a behavior change is they have to be informed. And that's what education is about, is making people aware, and they make that informed choice. There's so many things people can do, like eat less meat, eat more plant-based meals, drink less bottled water. Sometimes when you go to the conference, when you see the number of the bottled water, make you want to cry. They take out, the box. How do you, I remember when I was in China, I in the middle of the night, because I work late, I didn't have dinner. So you order, take a Uber eat is easy. But if you look at if you see one meal, the number of the waste we produced, our nature just can't cope. Where we're going to burn these, or we're going to throw into the sea. We have seen so many plastic, the can, they all injure the marine animals. The net, we catching, we fish, eat so much. So lots of things in our daily life. Stop buying fast. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the fast fashion. It's not the problem because fast fashion is wrong. Is the way is we go out to buy an outfit because I'm going to a party. Next week, I buy another party. So people have a habit now. You wear one T-shirt at a time. This, or you wear an evening dress just for one purpose. Then after that, throw away. Again, our nature has told us they have nothing. They just can't cope with all this stuff. There's a film called Stuff. If you Google, on YouTube, it's a quite old stuff. It's basically say we work, we go to shop, we shop, and then we go to sit down because we work so hard. So we sit down, we can't do anything, and we watch telly. But telly telling us our hair is wrong, our face is wrong, our body is wrong, we look fat. So we won't buy all these things. So we go to work again. So and then it's just vicious circle. So really, a lot of people are talking about with the COVID. Maybe it's a reflection of our consumerism.
I think it definitely is. And we totally agree with that fact. So for people, since we have to finish up, it's almost 15 minutes. For people that want to learn more about ACTAsia and support your work, can you tell them where to go, what to do?
Yes. And we, to visit our website, it's called www.actasia.org. And, we would love people to support, to sign up, to like us, or to sign up on our website. Our update is Thanksgiving soon. We would love people to support us. We want more supporters worldwide. And when we have, actions, we will invite you to join us. I cannot address how important it is for your viewer, your fans in IG, channel to support ACTAsia's work, because we are all in this together. And ACTAsia cannot work on our own without continuous support to have people like you and Brianna, and WellBeings, charities team to work together with us. And I think, it's amazing to have like-minded people together, and we make this change to come bigger and long-lasting change to create that behavioral change.
Oh, well, thank you, Pei, for joining us. We always love speaking to you, and we hope that our followers support your work moving forward. But thank you for this chat and for taking the time.